That's the very latest. We appreciate that. Americans have a lot of questions as the countdown begins to the launch of the Affordable Care Act. October 1st is the deadline we need to remember.
It's just around the corner, right? Rob Wilson, the president of Employco U.S., joins us now to break down some of the key things we need to know. It's so complex, and there are places to
Thanks
go.
for being with us. We
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you, Rob. We want to ask you, so there are penalties. Let's get to the other stuff later, but first, the penalties if you don't sign up. What happens?
Right. So the businesses, everyone's talking about business penalties, and that's been waived till 2015. But the penalties are for the individuals at this point, that if you don't have health insurance in 2014, you'll be subject to a fine. And everyone thinks that the fine's somewhat cheap, $95, but it's $95 or 1% of your earnings.
Well, tell us about, you just told us about the fine. So who has to get the insurance, and when do they have to get, by October 1st, or what's the deadline?
January 1st. So the exchanges are opening October 1st. So come January 1st, all Americans have to have coverage unless you make less than $10,000, $20,000 as a family. Or if you're a Native American, religious beliefs against it, or if you're in prison, or if you have, you're an illegal immigrant.
So we were throwing out some numbers earlier, just about a single person can expect to pay about $100, family of four for about $230. Are those numbers pretty accurate?
Well, it really depends on what plan you pick, because in Illinois, which just came out today, there's 35 different plans to choose from.
Wow.
So,
35 different plans. Right. So October 1st, the exchanges become available. January 1st, you have to be signed up or you could suffer the penalties. What about if you already have insurance? Do you need to make any changes?
No, if you have coverage right now and you're either in a grandfathered plan or a new plan, you're fine as long as you have current coverage.
So will these new changes then change the plan that you already have?
They could. If you're grandfathered in, you could keep the coverage the same. If not, they can. If your business decides to pick a different plan, it'll go to a tiered bronze, silver, gold, or platinum plan.
I don't even know what that means. The tiered, what would the tiers mean, for instance?
So the tiers do on a basic coverage of bronze, which is your minimum coverage to your Cadillac
just to say
plan.
I've got some insurance.
Exactly.
And then you can go all the way up.
Right.
Now we're hearing in the news here lately about a number of companies that are downgrading their employee status from full-time to part-time so that they don't have to insure them, and they're trying to get them to go with a plan like this.
Right.
Can they do that?
Absolutely. So that if you work less than 30 hours a week, you're not subject to the law.
Interesting.
So you're seeing
and that is legal, Rob?
Absolutely, and you're seeing quite a bit of that. Staffing sides where instead of using a temp for 40 hours, they want 2 for 20.
So now what happens if our company, News Corporation, does that to us?
Right, then you'd have to, you still have to go buy health insurance on your own then.
So we also are hearing that too. Those have been the big headlines of major corporations, major companies saying, hey, we're not going to handle your health care anymore.
Exactly. Go
on into these exchanges. Right. Why are we seeing so much of that? Why is that happening?
So larger companies, they're capping their dollar exposure. Someone like a Walgreens or Sears that are saying, I'm going to give you X amount of dollars to buy from the exchange. So you might have had what today would be platinum coverage, and now they're going to give you enough for bronze, silver, or gold.
So it's a money-saving situation for the companies in most cases.
Exactly.
So we've been hearing about this. It was, of course, taken care of a couple of years ago, past a couple of years ago, and now, of course, it's going to affect the exchanges, as you said, open October 1st. But why is there this cloud of confusion around this? Is it because all of the numbers, all of this, it doesn't affect me, it does affect me, it doesn't affect me?
Absolutely, and the law is so extensive, and there's, when you look at the law, it's thousands of pages, and it's come out over time. So first it's the penalties, now it's the notices. There's so many parts of it that have just come out over time.
Wow, so many things to talk about, but we're going to try to, we have a full kind of a breakdown on our site. If people want to learn more about your organization, where can they go, Rob?
To www.employco.com.
And we're showing everybody our Facebook page because you're going to be answering some questions for us there as well from our viewers.
Great.
If they post questions, you'll of course be available. Talk about the winners and losers. Winners and losers in this?
The winner is the person that doesn't have health insurance right now. If you don't, it's going to be a lot easier to buy than it was before. It may not be cheaper, but it's definitely going to be easier to buy.
And how many people do you think it's going to affect right here in Illinois?
Quite a few.
Quite a few. All righty. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Me.
You'll be back.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, Rob. We appreciate it. Up next, a final look at a very sweet forecast.
And the Chicago Bears launch a program.